Prejudice and discrimination are words that we often use interchangeably, but are actually two entirely different things. Discrimination is something that we do, whereas prejudice is something that we feel. The other words that get thrown in there are bias and stereotype. So think of discrimination being if, I work in a store. Well, for example, a couple years ago when there were a bunch of bakers who were refusing to make cakes for gay couples who were getting married, they were discriminating because it was something they were doing, right? Now, their prejudice is a feeling. It's like a general negative attitude about this group of people. So the prejudice is like a feeling, but you can be prejudiced and feel something negative about an entire group of people without discriminating against them. You could also discriminate against someone without being prejudiced against them. This could be because it's a law that says you have to, or it could be, that you're in your workplace, there's pressure on you to discriminate in a certain way, maybe in hiring practices, even when you yourself do not feel prejudiced towards those people. So one does not necessarily go with the other. However, obviously, if you are prejudiced, it is much easier to discriminate. Bias and stereotypes are also a little bit different, but go more closely with the idea of prejudice. A bias is like a set perspective that is for or against, in this case, an entire group of people. So that's my cat. So, I may have a bias that says all women are bad drivers, right? Now that's also kind of a stereotype, right? A bias is sort of like a blanket statement that says these people are X, these people are X, but in a either usually negative, but also sometimes in a positive way. Whereas a stereotype is a little more specific and says, every woman who owns 4 or more cats is crazy. I don't really believe that, of course, but that would be sort of a stereotype. So stereotype, bias, prejudice kind of go together and are more about our feelings, whereas discrimination is something that we do.